Drop. Drop.
Hello, welcome back, everybody. I don't know about you guys, but that song gets me pumped every time. I am so pumped to be here with all of you. Thank you for joining now. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for hopping on. We were talking all about creating your own coloring book, which is something that I get asked all the time. I have my coloring book somewhere around here, but it's right here. I'm going to show you how you can create your own, and you can do it any way that you like. We're going to be using a program called BookBolt today, and it is going to be so awesome. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing from start to finish. This is a complete tutorial. So if you are brand new to this, if you're feeling like I'm not creative, I don't even know where to start, I'm going to give you an opportunity for you to get creative, to flex your creative muscles so that you can get in here and start creating books that you can sell over and over and over again on Amazon through Amazon KDP. This software makes it so easy for you. I have a code for you right down here. It's Magic20 that you can save on BookBolt. But you can also go over to BookBolt and create your very first book for free. I'm going to show you that. If you can see right here in my window, you go to bookbolt.io and you can create your first book for free. How cool is that? You get access to tons of different tools on here, but today we're focusing fully on the studio that you get access to. So once you create that free account, you're going to go right in here. This is going to be your main dashboard. I'm going to walk you through this. Over here is your sidebar of your dashboard where you can see the tools that you have access to when you get into BookBolt, but also right down here is BookBolt Studio, and that is how you create everything. That is how you're going to create coloring books, Sudoku, mazes, different types of puzzle books. It's really The possibilities truly are endless. I have friends using this software who she's created over 600 books. I think that she sells through Amazon KDP. It is so wild because she creates like 3 books a day because it truly is that easy and simple and quick, which is what we like, right? So this is going to be your dashboard. Again, you're going to have access to product searches where you can see what is selling really well online on Amazon KDP, how many books, different books are selling per month. But we're going to focus right over here on Book Bolt Studio because I really want to get you guys creating in here so that you can be like, wow, I want to go do this myself as well. So you're going to, once you get into your account, you're going to come right down here where it says Book Bolt Studio, and you're going to click right there. And you're going to get access to this. This is stuff that I have been playing with myself. This is my coloring book here. And then this is my little armadillo. I'm going to show you how I created this one as well. But we're going to start a brand new, fresh project from the beginning, step by step. Like I told you, you're going to come right up here to project and you're going to go new project. This is going to tell you, really, it's step by step. I'm just showing you how simple it is. You can pick if you want to do a paperback or if you would like to do a hardcover. Way back in the day, Amazon KDP only offered paperback. That was your only option to create and sell books through Amazon KDP. And now they have hardcovers, which is so exciting. Okay, so we're going to just do a paperback today. We're going to keep it nice and simple. We're going to create a paperback cover and interior. We're going to do the whole thing right now. Our project name, I was thinking today that we would do Woodland Creatures. Woodland Creature Coloring Book. Doesn't that sound so cozy? That's what we're going to do today. If I can spell. Woodland Creatures. And then I'm going to make it, we have all these different sizes. If you come in here, there's 5x8, there's 6x9, there's 7x10, there's 8x10, 8.5 by 11, or you can do a custom size. So if you wanted to do something like an 8x8, or if you wanted to do, whatever you can think of. We're going to do something very simple today, and we're just going to make it a very simple 8x10 coloring book. This one right here that I can show you, this one is 8.5 by 11, just so you can get like the size comparison. And then it has a matte cover. So if you can see, it's not super shiny. This is the one that, my latest one, so cute. Okay, so we're going to do, actually, let's just go ahead. We'll do 8.5 by 11. Why not? We'll bump it up. Okay, so we're going to do an 8.5 by 11. The interior is going to be black and white with white paper. We don't need a coloring book to be 100 pages unless you want to. That's totally up to you. I think I'm going to do something like 26 pages. And now if you can see, it's so simple. So you hit create project. You're going to get right up here. You're going to see cover. And then you're going to see all of your pages down here, 26 pages that you have total liberty to put whatever kind of design you want on all of these pages. Now, if you're looking over here on this cover, you can see this like light peachy color. Those are your margins. Those in the green dotted lines, you want to stay in between those if you have any text or any, faces or type of imagery that you don't want to go off the page. These are your printing lines. So if your text gets too close to this space here, Amazon, once you upload your book over on Amazon KDP, which again, I'm going to show you how to do all of that. Once you upload over there, if your text or imagery is too close to this line, they're going to come back and say, hey, fix this. And then it's going to take a little bit longer for you to get published, which is no big deal. We're not in a rush. We're okay. It's fine. But to save you an extra step, just pay attention to that. You're also going to see right here this little yellow barcode section. You don't have to do anything with that, but the only thing that you need to remember is that if you are putting text, again, this is your cover. So if you're putting text anywhere down here, you don't want to go over this yellow section. Once you upload to Amazon KDP, they give you a barcode. You don't have to do anything. They give you the barcode. They put it on your book. So you don't want that barcode to cover any of your text or important images. So keep that in mind when you're creating your cover. Okay, so now we're going to get into the super fun stuff. It's my favorite thing. So once we are creating today we're doing that woodland coloring book, right? So we're going to start creating some images to go in our coloring book. And inside of Book Bolt Studio, which again, you get access to all of this. How lucky are you? You're going to see these little stars right here. And you're going to click those little stars, and that's your AI little buddy. That's your AI buddy. And this is your AI studio where you can create anything that you want. So for those of you who are nervous about being like, well, I can't draw, I can't do this, I really want to create my own coloring book. I have all these ideas for the things that I want to put in this coloring book, but I can't draw it, and hiring an illustrator is tricky. You can use their AI studio right here. Again, you get it with your plan. So you're going to click right here where it says image generator, and it's going to give you a prompt section as well as a few other options. So let's walk through that. Your prompt section, I will tell you that the better your prompt is, the better your images are going to be. So if you just say, let's do a duck. If you put a duck there, then who knows what you're going to get. But if you did something a little more specific that is like a duck swimming in a pond in the middle of a forest with a house in the background or something like that, like a more engaging prompt, that is going to suit you very well. Okay, so what you're going to do here, again, there's your prompt. We're going to figure out what kind of shape we want it. So if you had a book that was a square, you would do square. If you would have a book that is portrait and vertical, which is what we're doing because we're doing 8.5 by 11, that size, we're going to say portrait. And then if you're doing one that's horizontal, you're going to say landscape. So right now we're going to say portrait. And then right here where it says image count, I'm going to say 4 images. You can say however many you want, but the reason that I'm saying 4 is because it gives you more to choose from as far as from your prompt. So when you put something into your prompt, it's going to give you 4 different images that are all going to be a little bit different. You can pick the one that suits you best for your needs. Then you're going to go down here where it says style, and you're going to change the style. Now they have a section in here that is specifically for people who want to create coloring books, and it's right here, and it says coloring. But just to give you some ideas of some of the other ones, we have cinematic, which is beautiful. We have one that's more like stock photo-y. We have dynamic, fashion, all these fancy things. Creative is really cute, and anime. I'm going to go down here and just say coloring because we're making a coloring book, right? We're making a beautiful coloring book of woodland creatures. That is what we were doing today. So we're going to say, what kind of woodland creature are we going to start with today? How about foxes? I love foxes. Okay, so we're going to say, create an image of a fox running through a beautiful forest chasing a butterfly. We'll start with that. Okay, so once we have that, we're going to go down here and generate. And you'll be able to see the images that pop up for you here in just a minute. Look, right over here. So these are our little foxes. We have a few, that one is so cute. We have a few different images that we can choose from. This one is super sweet. And then if we want to go back and we want to adjust what it looks like, then we just adjust our prompt. We can say, take away the butterfly, make the trees have leaves on them, make a farm in the background, whatever we want. I think this one is good enough for today. So we're going to say add to page. Once we get that added, we're going to adjust it to our page and then just like this, get it in a way that we really like it. And then we have our first page. So our first page, we have our little fox. We can go ahead and create our next page now if we want to. We're going to go right over here. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to pick a new woodland creature. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. Let's see. We have our fox. Let's do an image of a raccoon sitting in a tree eating a strawberry. Let's see what happens with this. So again, the more specific, the more interesting your images are going to be. This one, again, is going to create 4 images for us where we can figure out, look how cute it is. I can't. Okay, we have this one. We have this one. Oh, so adorable. Okay, which one do we like? I don't know. This one's really cute. I think I might have to go after that one. I don't know. Okay, so we have our little image of our little raccoon. We're going to stretch him so he fits good on the page. And looks so cute. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so we have our fox, we have our raccoon. We're going to keep rolling. I'm going to run out of woodland creatures, I think. These ones are super duper sweet. Oh, a squirrel. Let's do a squirrel. All right, so our next, for my next trick, we're going to do a squirrel. Create an image of a squirrel. What's a squirrel going to be doing? See, this is one thing. I understand the beef with AI. I totally understand it. I don't use it a ton for creating images like this unless I, one, am short on time, or two, have a really interesting idea and I have no idea how to draw it. That is where this comes in so handy, because I want to create things and I want you guys to create things too. And one way that we can do that is by having tools that help us get our creative ideas onto paper when we get stuck. We don't want to be stuck all the time. We want to create cool things, and that is what we are doing here today. So we're going to create an image of a squirrel. Let's do something funny. Sitting in a chair next to a pond, sipping lemonade and wearing sunglasses. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Do woodland creatures sit with sunglasses and sip lemonade? I don't know. This one does. Okay. I like this little guy. And something that, hello, we're zooming in. That's me. That's my mouse. Oh, a mouse would be a good woodland creature. Let's keep that in mind for 2 seconds from now. I like that they can create their own background. But if we wanted to adjust this, we're going to say the background is forest themed. Let's see if we can adjust this one. Something also that I like is, like, let's say we just wanted to create an entire woodland creature coloring book all around the squirrel. All around this little squirrel. We could totally do that if we wanted to. I'm going to add this one to the page. Again, we're going to stretch him so he fits on that page. I think he looks really cute. And this one is good to go. Let's stretch this guy a little more so he comes off of the page. Here we go. Cute. Okay, so as we can see, we are just rolling along here. Let's go ahead and do our mouse. Should we do a mouse? Let's do a mouse. Create an image of a mouse running through the forest into a tree trunk. I think I'll just leave it at that and see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to add anything to it. We'll just see. We will just see. Let's see what we get. That's kind of cute. He's running into his little thing. Okay, we have some ideas. Let's see. What do we want to do? I kind of like this little guy. He kind of looks like his name would be Albert. I don't know about you guys. I have to, like, name everything I see. I don't know why. I just do. Okay. Here's our coloring book. Really just putting along here. I really like this one. I wonder. Okay. I really like that raccoon. You know what would have been cute? Little woodland creatures eating fruit. That would have been cute. Maybe there's a niche there. Okay, we're going to do another little woodland creature, an image of a bear. Let's do two, a bear and a deer sitting together, watching the sunset over mountains in the forest. Oh my goodness. That was pretty specific. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have, they're so cute. Okay, I actually kind of like that one. This one is kind of sweet. I'm going to redo this prompt Create an image of a bear and a deer sitting together watching the sunset over the mountains in the forest. I don't know. How much more specific do I get? Maybe we just leave it at this one. Let's do 2 bears. Let's not do a bear and a deer. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we updated this prompt and we said create an image of 2 bears sitting together watching the sunset over mountains in the forest. Okay. Oh, I like this one better. Look at that. I like this one with the little moon. Which one? I like this one. We'll add this one. Okay, again, we're going to stretch it so we fit. Boop. Got our little bears. They're watching the sunset. I just had a thought of something I need to tell you. And something I totally forgot when I was doing this is when we are making coloring books, we need to do every other page because every other page is going to be the back of the sheet. So this is going to be the front of page 1, the back of page 1, the front of page 2, the back of page 2. So we need to go in here and we need to edit this. We're going to do every other one. Sorry, guys, totally forgot. Let's see, how many do we have? So we're going to do that. Do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll put this guy here. And then we'll copy our little mouse, move him right there. There we go. I knew something was a little sketchy. All right, we are all set. Okay, so again, we have our cover. Now we're filling out our pages. We have page 1. Blank page on page 2 because that's the back. We are avoiding bleed. We're avoiding, marks from coloring on the front page. We have our second illustration, blank page, third illustration, blank page, fourth illustration, blank page, and so on and so on and so on. So we're actually on page 11. We're about halfway done. Okay, so now we're going to create an image of, let's do a cardinal. Cardinal bird sitting in a tree, watching over the forest. Cardinal or a woodpecker? Woodpecker would be fun. Okay, we're going to do a cardinal because that's what I put there. And we're going to see what kind of bird it pops out with. There's our little cardinal. And I really like this one. Actually, I can already tell from these. Oh, actually, just kidding. This one's kind of nice because it has a little bit of imagery down here. Maybe do that one. We're going to stretch. Boop. And then I can decide where I want this little bird to be. Do I want him higher? Do I want him? I think like right there is good. All right, skip a page. Skip. Going down to page 13. We're going to do, we are on a roll. We are on a roll. So we are on BookBolt. For those of you, we have a lot of new people joining us on all of our streaming platforms that we are live on right now. If you are just joining us, we are using BookBolt and we are using their Book Creator Studio, their BookBolt Studio here. You get access to this. Everyone gets access to BookBolt for free. You can create your first book for free. And then if you want to go on to create coloring books, puzzle books, mazes, Sudoku, crossword puzzles, anything that you want to create and sell on Amazon KDP, you can use my code MAGIC20 and that's going to save you on their pro plan, which is magical. So right now I'm walking everyone through how to create and publish a coloring book from start to finish. Right now we are in BookBolt Studio itself, designing our coloring book. And here's what we have so far. So we have all of these. We're doing a woodland creature theme. So we have all of our little woodland creatures here. And then we're on page 13 right now. And I need some more ideas for woodland creatures. Let's see. Oh, a frog. Frog. Create an image of a frog on a lily pad in a pond in the forest. We get lots of frogs around my house. We have cows over there, not us. Our neighbors have the cows. We have cows over there. We get frogs. We get all sorts of wildlife around here. So it's really fun, actually. It's a good time. I don't know who enjoys frog hunting more, my son or me, but we've seen quite a few. We've seen quite a few this year. Not super big ones, though. We saw a big one a while ago, like last year, I think. And I think that one had babies. And so I think what we're finding now is the babies because they all look the same. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just joking. I don't know. Okay, so let's actually, right now we're working on creating a frog imagery for our book. I'm going to generate again. You can generate this, redo your prompt, and just see the different styles. Over on the right, it's going to generate 4 more options for us. Here's 1, here's 2. There's a little, this one's kind of cute. Let's add to page. For those of you just joining us, we are creating a little coloring book full of woodland creatures. And we are using BookBolt Studio right now. And that is helping us create all of these cute little things. Okay, so right now we have our, I think this one is my favorite so far. Look how cute that is. We're creating all of our little woodland creatures. We're on page 15. We're going to do a deer. So we're going to go into image generator, create an image of a deer in the forest. Let's just do something super simple and we'll see what it comes up with. When you do this, you can have an image count to see how many images you want it to create. You can create 1 up to 4. If you create 1, that's fine. If you create 4, it gives you 4 different options over here on the side that you can choose from based off of the prompt that you put in there. So here is the option that I'm going to choose. I'm going to say add to page, and then we're going to stretch it onto our page. There's our little deer. We're going to say save. And then we're going to go down, skip a page, because remember, this is page 15, but this is the back of page 15. If you were to put images back to back, you would have bleed through because a lot of people use markers and different things. So you want to skip a page, and then you're going to do your next one right here. You're going to go in to our stars and go over to image generator. And then we're going to think of another woodland creature. We've done all of like the main woodland creatures. Who am I missing? Should we do a porcupine or an armadillo? Is an armadillo a woodland creature? Maybe today. So create an image of a, I'm just going to say woodland creature. And we'll see what it pops up with. Maybe it'll think of one that we haven't thought of yet because we've had quite a few. Let's see what type of woodland creature it's going to create, and then maybe we'll get some ideas. Let's see. Okay, so we have this little interesting fox deer guy. That's actually pretty cute. We kind of did a fox already. Let's create an image of a snake in a forest. I just got another idea. We can do like beetles and bugs. Those are woodland creatures. They're not as fuzzy and cuddly though, but that's okay. We can roll with it. Okay. Oh, look at that guy. He's so ferocious. This one's a little calmer, more the vibe of what we're going for. Here's a couple other options. That one's pretty cute too. I think I'm going to go with this one. He has a little smile on his face. He's looking pretty cute. We're going to add that onto our page. Like so, stretch it, get him where we want it, and then we're good. Ta-da! Again, we're going to skip a page. You guys got the hang of this now, right? We're going to skip this page. We're on to page 19. We're going to create a beetle bug. That's our next one. A beetle bug in a forest on a log. Create image. Now, again, for those of you just joining us, thank you for hopping on. You can do any kind of imagery. The one that we are doing is the coloring style because we're creating the coloring book, but you can create any kind of style. They have multiple styles that you can pick from in here. Here's our little beetle bug. Beetle bug. This one's pretty cute. It has those leaves kind of that a lot of ours have in the background. It kind of goes with the flow. We're going to add that to our page. Stretch her out. There's our little beetle bug. Beetle bug. We're going to save it. And then we'll skip a page. Come right down. We are almost done. We only have a couple more. And then we're going to work on our cover. So our next one, create an image of a... Did we already do a deer? I think we did. How about a wolf? Create an image of a wolf running through the forest. I always get curious what it's actually going to create. Oh, I like it. I like these. I kind of like this one. We have a couple different options. He looks like he's posing like, hey. This one's really cute, but doesn't have the background. So we really have this one or this one. I'm kind of liking this one. So we're going to regenerate just for kicks, and we'll see if we get a different type of image, and then we'll add it to our page. So when you do get the pro plan, when you upgrade, if you do get the monthly, you get a lot of AI credits. Then you can also add in credits if you would like to. This is kind of going with our theme. He looks pretty cute. Okay, I think I'm going to do this one. We'll add to page. There we go. He's walking through the forest. Okay, we're going to skip a page. Go down to page 23. This one, we're going to do an image of a butterfly. Image of a butterfly in the forest on a leaf. See what happens. Okay, here's our next one. Our little butterfly is going to pop up here in just a moment. Here's our little butterfly. This one is very specific. I'm going to take away on a leaf. I'm just going to say image of a butterfly in the forest because we don't have the forest background here. So let's try that again. I'm going to redo. I'm going to pop out and I'm going to do image generator again. Oops, portrait, 4 count, change it down to color. We're going to say butterfly flying in a forest. See what happens there. I don't know if you guys saw my reels today, but I took my laptop. I took my son to camp. Oh, this one's really cute. There we go. I took my son to camp, and so I took my laptop and I just sat in my car and I played with BookBolt and creating a journal just from sitting in my car, and I did it. And it was really cool, and then my computer died. But that was because I didn't charge it before I left. But when I say it's easy to do it, it's easy to do it. And I have a few other tutorials on my YouTube channel where you can find inside of BookBolt, inside of Studio, they have a ton of different pages and templates already made for you that you can use in any of your books, your journals, your planners, whatever it is that you want to create. They have, if you click the little puzzle piece here, all of them here, all of these pre-designed templates you can use anytime, anywhere, for anything when you're publishing on Amazon KDP. Okay, we're going to skip page 24, go down to 25. This is our last little page. This is going to be our last woodland creature. I'm going to create a coloring book page with an armadillo in the forest. I don't know if an armadillo is a forest creature, but this one's going to be today. I love armadillos. I don't know why. They're magical little things. Here's our little armadillo. Cuties. So we have a little armadillo guy here. I personally like this one. I really like it with the forest imagery in the background. So I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to add it to our page here. Again, we're going to stretch so he covers the full page. There we go. All right. We're going to save. Now, this is where things get interesting, because how are we going to create a cover? So here is our cover template that we get to use. Now, I will tell you, it's going to be easier for you to get ideas of what to put on your cover if you go back into BookBolt and look at ones that are already selling and ones that are selling really well. So if you click here on BookBolt, I already showed you this one. This is how you get your free book. We're going to go into product search, and we're going to say, should we say woodland creature coloring book? That may be too specific. Let's see. We're going to type in keywords and start searching for little coloring books that pop up to give us an idea of what is going to go on our cover. So if we look at this one, this is an ocean coloring book for kids. So we could say woodland creature coloring book for kids with X number of images. We could put that on there as far as the title here. But if you look here, all these little images, you're going to look at the text that they're using, the font they're using, the images, what other font are they putting on here, so that you have ideas of what to put on your book when you create your coloring book. So what I'm going to do here inside of my cover template here is I'm going to go here to my shapes. I'm just going to do a rectangular shape here. Let me get this so you guys can see the whole thing. There you go. And I'm going to stretch it over the full canvas. I'm going to decide what color do I want my cover to be. I feel like green would be good for like woodland creatures, maybe. I really like a pastel green. So we'll say that. So here is our cover image that we're starting with. This is everything that we're going to do today is going to be inside of BookBolt. You don't need any outside help. Okay, so we're going to say save. That one is saved. Here's a little preview that I like right over here where you can see, like without the little lines, you can see what your cover is looking like. This middle line right here, that's going to be your spine. So our spine is really small, so we don't have to put text right there. But sometimes for like bigger manuscripts, you can do up to like 800 pages, I think, through here, over 800 pages. And that's going to give you a big old spine. So for a big spine like that, you're going to want to put text on the side. Which I can actually show you that really quick. So here's my projects. Let's go down to my Sudoku book. So this Sudoku book I did, and it's over 500 different puzzles. I did all of this using the puzzle generators inside of BookBolt. But when I was creating this cover, see how I put text down the spine? Because that spine is a big spine. So you put text down the spine. That'll help you. Okay, so we're going to go back into our woodland creatures. This is what we're creating. We have all of our images done. My favorite one, I think, is still the raccoon. Look how cute he is. Ah, so cute. Okay, so now we are creating our cover, and we're going to say, again, remember, we're going to refer back what is selling really well. We know that this one is selling really well because we can see their sales. We are using bookbolt.io. For those of you asking about it, it's bookbolt.io. And you can get all of the behind the scenes information as far as what is selling really well on Amazon KDP, why is it selling well, what keywords are they using, all of that. So we are using that information that we're finding here inside of our BookBolt dashboard in order to create the cover for the coloring book that we just made. So this is the one that I'm going to kind of mirror and get ideas from. It says Ocean Coloring Book for Kids. I'm going to say Woodland Creatures Coloring Book for Kids. And all I did right here is click this little text icon, and we're going to say Woodland Creatures. We're going to center. We'll just say center. Okay. Here's our woodland creatures. We're going to modify this text. It's not going to look as plain as it does. I copied it, copy and paste, and I'm going to say coloring book. Copy and paste. You don't have to copy and paste. You'll see why I'm doing it here in a minute. For kids. Okay, now we're going to go up here. We're going to say edit. No, we're going to go here, and we're going to look at different fonts. Now you can actually upload your own fonts, which is so cool. So there are places out there where you can download a font. And a font is basically, see right here, where it says Ocean Coloring Book for Kids, that's all different fonts, or it's probably the same font styles, but you can choose whatever fonts you want. But there's all different font kits that you can purchase to then put on your book. So you could find a real like bubbly font, and you can buy, or sometimes you can download them for free, but you can download that font, upload it here, and then you can use that on your books as long as you have commercial rights to it. I'm just going to go over here to the free fonts that we have access to, and then we're going to scroll down, and it's just going to give us some options as far as what do we want our title to look like. That one's kind of cute. My book is going to be for kids, so I want something that's kind of kid-friendly, that looks kind of playful. Maybe something like that would be good. We have access to tons of fonts. This one's pretty cute, if you can see over here. But this is going to give you lots of different options. I could see doing something like this for like Halloween. That would be cute. Bubblegum Sands. That's cute. Bungee. Okay, I could do this all day. I'm not going to do this all day with you guys watching here, but we're going to do just a really cute, simple font. Okay, and then we're going to make it a little bigger. So here we have our woodland creatures. Coloring book for kids. Right now I'm just doing updating the fonts here so you can see coloring book for kids. I'm going to make these bigger. I'm going to make woodland creatures much bigger. Woodland creatures. Coloring book is going to be much bigger. Coloring book for kids. And maybe I tilt that a little bit. Coloring book for kids. That's something that we can play with. But just so you guys can see what that font looks like, it's kind of cute. So now our objective now is to figure out what kind of imagery are we going to have around our book. So I will probably update the color of these. In fact, I'll do it now because it's kind of driving me nuts. I'm going to update the color of our font to more of like earthy tones. Coloring book maybe is, I don't know, where's that green that we just used? Coloring book for kids. Okay, so we have a little woodland situation here. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and go save it, and now I'm going to go over here to, again, back to that tool, and I'm just going to have it create. I'm going to change the style. We're going to go more to, we can do an illustrative style or more of a cartoon style. I'm thinking we're going to do what? Let's do an illustrative style. And we're not going to do a coloring page. We're just going to say create. Woo! A bear. Actually, let's do the rec. I couldn't make up my mind. Okay, so we're going to do create a raccoon. We're going to have 4 images created. We're going to pick our favorite one, and then we're going to start adding these little creatures to our cover. And again, our cover design, oh, that's cute. Okay, we're going to change the style to cartoon style. I'm showing you guys the different options here. That was more of an illustrative style. This is going to be more of a cartoon style for our raccoon, and we will see what pops up. Okay, so here's our little raccoon. He's so cute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this guy. You might be thinking, what do we do about the background? We do have a background, a delete background option, I guess you could say here. If we go over to, actually that's for cropping. Here are tools. We're going to say remove background. And we'll see if that helps. Yep. So we just removed our little background for our little raccoon. Here's our little raccoon friend. Okay, so I'm going to create a few different things. I'm also going to, well, I'll show you. I'll show you some other things I'm going to do. Okay, so we have our little raccoon. We're going to go back. We're going to do the same thing, cartoon style. We're going to do the squirrel. Every time I hear squirrel, I think of Veruca Salt. I want a squirrel. So we want a squirrel. That is going to be our next one. Again, we're going to do 4 images and pick the best one that we like. Here's our little squirrel. That one has 3 arms, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so we're going to pick the one that we like. This one's really cute. I'm going to say add to page. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Remove that background on tools. Say remove background. And now we're just building out our coloring book. Maybe they are friends. Maybe they're friends. Look how cute. Let's do maybe one more. Let's see, who's our last one gonna be? Should we do a bear? Let's do bear. Create a bear in the cartoon style. So for those of you who are interested in designing your own coloring books in whichever way that you want to, this is a really good option for you, but you can build out your pages like this as well. Once you are in here and you find different little creatures that you like, this one's waving. We like a good wave. Once you find these little creatures, you can build them out on the pages. You can have them doing whatever you want. They could be cooking in the kitchen. They could be, doing whatever. For those of you who joined earlier, those of you joining now, thanks for hopping on. But here's our little bear that we have right now. And then again, we're going to go and we're going to get rid of that background and start placing our little guy, our little bear friend. We're going to place him on our cover. So we're going to go here to tools, remove background. For those of you just joining on, we're using bookbolt.io. And this is how you can create and sell any kind of book you want on Amazon KDP. The one that we are doing today is creating a children's book, a children's coloring book. So you can kind of see some of the images that we've done so far. You can look down here. Here's my favorite one. Here's, we have cardinals, we have a little frog, we have a deer, snake, we have a wolf, butterfly, and also my favorite, an armadillo, because I think he's just cool. Armadillos are cool. Okay, so again, we're going to keep in mind, here's the spine of our book here. So if you look over here on our cover preview, it's going to be folded in half. This is our spine. The back, we can again go back over here to do a little research. So here is on the back of their coloring book, they have examples of the images that people can see inside of their book. So I kind of like the idea of that. That's definitely something that we can do inside of Bookball as well. We're going to go back here. I wonder if I can. I'm trying to decide if I like that color or not. I don't think I do. I'm going to go back here. We're going to do a different font. Woodland Creatures. And let's go ahead and make an outline. This is our stroke. Not that one. Let's undo that. Boop. This one's our stroke. We're going to do black. And if you can see how that title pops a little bit better than if it's just plain text. We're going to do that as well for each of our thingies. We'll say for kids. We'll do this one. And we're just building out this cover. So we're going to go over here. I'm going to add a rectangle and I'm going to put it let's see. Get out of there. I'm going to put it back here. Here's our different layers. You guys can see this popping up next to my head. These are our different layers. I can move this rectangle to behind wherever I want it to go. So I want it to go behind this word and behind his ear, these ears, because we don't need that. Let's mess with that rectangle some more because I want it to be a different color. Here's our rectangle. The rectangle, this little green dot lets us select. So we're going to select that rectangle and we're going to change it to a different color. Red is pretty intense. I kind of like this color. And then we're going to go back to for kids. We'll put that on there. I'm going to select that rectangle again and just kind of cozy it there. Okay. So now we have that selected. Move our kids. Okay, here is our cover so far. We're building it up. I want to then, let's see, let's go back into shapes. We have all these different shapes that we can pick from. I'm trying to think. Ooh, a little cloud shape could be kind of cute. Let's do that. Let's do a little cloud shape. We'll make it white. And we can have little clouds up here in the background. How about that? That's kind of cute. Again, we'll move that down to the back. If you can see that, we just push that cloud all the way to the back. Here's some more. I'm going to push this one all the way down to the back. Just drag and drop. Boop. Should we go like that? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do just a couple more, maybe there. And we will drag and drop. Okay, let's do one more rectangle down here for the bottom. We'll make it green. Pull that rectangle all the way down. And now we have a really cute little book. Okay, we can kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to move my little raccoon. Okay, we can see what the cover looks like. Now, in order to get the images, like on the back cover, like on this one, that one that we just looked at, you're just going to screen grab. So you're going to, let's do some of our favorite ones. We'll get this one and we will, I'm on a Mac. So for those of you who are on a Mac, you're going to do Command-Shift-4. And I get this little guy and I'm going to drag and I'm going to take a picture. That picture, we're then going to come up to our cover, click this little mountain, upload, and then here's our recent screenshot. There's our raccoon. Okay. And then we can say there's different effects that we can do. We don't need to worry about any of that. We can outline. Can we outline? No, we don't need to outline that actually. That's a good option for creating a coloring book though. We can do that on a different video. I'm just going to do 3 of these because we're getting low on time. Here's our little sneaky. Again, we're going to come back up to our cover. We're going to click here, upload image. Here's our second screenshot. We're going to upload that. Two. And then how about 2, 3. Same thing, come right up here, upload image. Here's our screenshot. We'll add this. I'm gonna make them a little smaller so that they all fit better on the page. All right. Okay, so we have everything ready to roll. The last thing I'm going to do is just put a little box here. That little line is how you know it's in the middle. We're going to put this little box here. I'm just going to make it, we'll do that color box, do text. We're going to see what they say on their back cover. From sea turtles to lionfish, each coloring page blends playful art with real ocean knowledge so kids stay excited, focused, and learning the whole time. So we can say, I'm trying to think exactly what I want to put on this. Oh, well, we can always update this. A cute coloring book full of woodland creatures that kids are sure to love. From a raccoon to a snake, the adventure. We'll just do something like that. And we'll center it. I'm going to adjust the spacing here. Change it to white. And then adjust the size. We don't need it that big. Do a little teeny outline. I'm not loving this for the background color. And I'm not loving the font. Let's update the font. Oh, yeah. Okay, now our font goes with our cover. And again, as we're putting this together, we have to remember there's going to be a little barcode here that we don't want to mess with, right? So the last couple things I'm going to do is I'm just going to move some of these clouds over here so that we have them on the back. Move those down. Move it. All right, I think we're about done here. That was cool. Okay, cool. I think this is looking pretty cute. So I think I'm going to call it good for now. But I promised you that we are going to go all the way through and upload it to Amazon KDP, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to go right down here where it says download, and we're going to print download current project. Click there. And then it's going to download our pages. It's going to download, that was just an AI thingy, like your project includes AI generated content. We say we know, and we just have to say that when we're uploading it to Amazon. There's a little place that's like, did you use AI? You're going to say yes. What did you use? We're going to say the tools that we used and what's included. Okay, so we have our file here. We're going to go over here to Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. You're going to click there, create a very free account, and then you're going to say create new title or series. This is where we're going to upload our paperbacks. We're going to click create paperback. And then you're just going to fill it out, man. You're just going to fill in the blank. So right here where it says book title, we're going to say Woodland Animal Coloring Book for kids ages 4 to 6. We're going to go over here. We're going to say, okay, I'm going to say Woodland Animal Coloring Book for kids ages 4 to 6, including raccoon, we're going to say including raccoon. Oh my gosh. Kids will include raccoon, squirrel, and more. Series, not series. We're going to say, we're going to give our author name. That's us. We're going to fill out this description. And there's a lot of ways that you can fill this out. We can say everything that you want to put inside of that description, you want to make it full of keywords. That's what you want. We're going to say, I own the copyright. No crazy images. Available on Amazon. What categories do we want? We're going to come over here to our category selector, KDP categories. We're going to say children's coloring book. And we're going to get our categories, which is right here. We're going to go do children's book, activities, activity books, coloring books. So we're going to say here, children's books. We're going to say activities. We're going to say activity books. And we're going to say coloring books. Save categories. Low content book. We're going to say, what are our keywords? I don't know. Let's go over here and say, what are our keywords? We're going to say right here, back on Book Bolt, we're going to say keyword search. We're going to say coloring book. And coloring book, we're going to have access to all of these different keywords. And we're just going to copy and paste. Book coloring, that's interesting. Okay, so this gives us a lot of options and ideas as far as what keywords we can use. Coloring book, coloring books for kids. Okay, we're going to say publish now, save and continue. Oh, we have to do our description. I forgot. Let's go back and do this because it wiped that out when we forgot to do our description. Okay, we're going to save our categories. Go back up here because we forgot our description. And we're going to say I'm just going to put this here for now. A lot of people will use AI so that you push in more keywords and make it more SEO friendly. That is totally up to you if you would like to use that or not, or if you would like to fill it out yourself. We're going to say save and continue. Our categories aren't saving. Why? Oh, I know. That's why, because I didn't do that. Okay, we're good. Okay, save successful. Now the cool thing about this is that Amazon assigns you an ISBN. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go searching for your own ISBN. It's already been assigned. Here's our number there. We're going to say we need a black and white interior with white paper. We're going to say our trim size. We did 8.5 by 11, no bleed. I'm going to do a glossy cover, and then we're going to upload our manuscript. Now, when we upload our manuscript, that is fantastic because our woodland creature guy that we just created over on Bookbolt, it gives you the cover file and the manuscript file both separately, which is what you need. You can't upload them together. So you're going to go here, upload manuscript, and it's going to say, here's our interior. And then we're going to upload our cover as well. And then we're going to be smooth sailing. So our cover you can generate here. We already have our cover. We're going to say upload cover. Here's our cover design there. We're going to get that uploaded. And then once it is, it says save successful. Did we AI generate? Yes, we did, on not text, but on images. We did mini AI and we used bookbolt.io. We have to launch Previewer because they make you do it. So we're going to launch it and make sure that our bleed and everything is good, that we don't have anything in that barcode area or going off the pages. Once we make sure of that, we're going to approve our proof, and then we're going to send it off for review. If your book has any errors, it's going to tell you. Okay, so if your book has errors, you're going to get this little sign right here, and that's because we pulled our image all the way past that those little dots. So all we have to do is we're going to go back into Studio, and we're going to modify that just like this. We're going to pull, pull, pull. So cute. We can pull it just like that, and that's how we would modify that in order to approve our proof and get this book off for review. I'm not going to spend any more time on all of this. You guys get the gist of the whole creation process. I hope that was really helpful for you. Any comments that you have,